Hello, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're embarking on an epic journey back in time, diving deep into the sands of Egypt to uncover one of history's most tantalizing mysteries, the lost treasure of Cleopatra. What images come to mind when you hear her name? A powerful queen, a brilliant strategist, or perhaps unimaginable riches? Well, the truth is likely all of that and more. For centuries, the legend of Cleopatra's vast wealth and her final, secret resting place has captivated archaeologists, historians, and treasure hunters alike. But what was this treasure, and where could it possibly be? Let's unravel the story. To understand the treasure, we first have to understand the woman. Cleopatra VII was the last active ruler of the Ptolemaic Kingdom of Egypt. She wasn't just royalty, she was a formidable intellectual, fluent in multiple languages, and a shrewd political player who held her own against the Roman giants, Julius Caesar and Mark Antony. Egypt, under her rule, was the breadbasket of the ancient world, a hub of trade, culture, and immense wealth. The Ptolemaic dynasty had accumulated riches for nearly 300 years, and Cleopatra was the inheritor of it all. We're talking about mountains of gold, silver, precious gems, ivory, ebony, and priceless artifacts from across the known world. Ancient texts, like those from the Roman historian Cassius Dio, describe Cleopatra's incredible fortune. He wrote that when she prepared for her final stand against Octavian, she gathered all of her most valuable possessions into a grand mausoleum she had built for herself and Mark Antony. This wasn't just a few chests of gold coins. It was the entire royal treasury of Egypt. Imagine rooms filled with golden thrones, intricate jewelry, statues adorned with lapis lazuli and turquoise, and scrolls of irreplaceable knowledge from the Library of Alexandria. The scale of this wealth is almost impossible to comprehend in modern terms. It was the financial and cultural legacy of an entire civilization, concentrated in one place. So, the billion-dollar question is, what happened to it? After the naval battle of Actium, where their forces were defeated, Cleopatra and Mark Antony retreated to Alexandria. As Octavian's army closed in, Antony took his own life. Cleopatra, ever the strategist, initially tried to negotiate with Octavian. She hoped to secure her kingdom for her children. But when it became clear that Octavian intended to parade her through the streets of Rome in chains, ultimate humiliation, she chose a different path. According to the legend immortalized by Plutarch, she locked herself in her mausoleum with her two most loyal handmaidens. And there, she ended her life, famously, with the bite of an ass smuggled to her in a basket of figs. Here's where the mystery deepens. Octavian, who desperately needed Cleopatra's treasure to pay his legions and stabilize the Roman economy, rushed to the mausoleum upon hearing the news. He found the queen dead, but what about the treasure? The historical accounts are strangely silent on this point. While Octavian certainly seized a significant amount of Egypt's assets, there's no definitive record stating he found the entirety of the legendary treasure within the mausoleum. Did he find it all and just not publicize it? Or did Cleopatra, in a final act of defiance, manage to hide the bulk of her fortune before her death? This ambiguity has fueled the treasure hunt for 2,000 years. The search for Cleopatra's tomb is, in essence, the search for her treasure. For centuries, scholars believed she was buried somewhere in Alexandria, the city she loved. The problem is that the ancient Alexandria of Cleopatra's time is now mostly underwater or buried beneath the modern city. Earthquakes and tsunamis in the 4th and 5th centuries AD caused a massive part of the coastal city, including the royal quarter where her palace and mausoleum were likely located, to sink into the Mediterranean Sea. For years, marine archaeologists like Frank Gaudio have been exploring these submerged ruins, uncovering incredible artifacts like sphinxes, statues, and parts of ancient temples. They've pieced together a map of Cleopatra's lost world, but her final resting place remains elusive. Then, a new theory emerged that shifted the search entirely. Dr. Kathleen Martinez, a scholar from the Dominican Republic, became convinced that everyone was looking in the wrong place. She argued that Cleopatra, a devout follower of the goddess Isis, would have wanted to be buried in a sacred temple, a place where she could be worshipped after death and complete the rituals to ensure her immortality. Her focus turned to a site about 30 miles outside Alexandria called Osiris Magna. This temple, dedicated to Osiris, the husband of Isis, was a major religious center in ancient Egypt. Dr. Martinez theorized that Cleopatra, as the living embodiment of Isis, would have arranged to be buried here alongside her beloved Mark Antony, who she associated with Osiris. For over a decade, Dr. Martinez and her team have been excavating Osiris Magna, and what they've found is nothing short of remarkable. They've discovered a network of tunnels beneath the temple, tombs of high-ranking officials, and coins bearing Cleopatra's image. They even found a headless statue of a Ptolemaic king and a foundation deposit that proves the temple was built by King Ptolemy IV. These are all tantalizing clues suggesting a royal connection. The team believes the main tomb, the one that could hold Cleopatra and her treasure, is still waiting to be discovered within the vast complex. Each new discovery fuels the hope that they are on the verge of the greatest archaeological find since Tutankhamun's tomb. So, what could we expect to find if her tomb is ever opened? Based on other royal Egyptian burials, it would be an archaeological sensation. We'd likely find her sarcophagus, perhaps made of gold or alabaster, and her mummy, adorned with an intricate death mask and priceless jewelry. The rooms would be filled with funerary objects meant to serve her in the afterlife: furniture, clothing, cosmetics, and perhaps even her personal writings and lost historical documents that could rewrite what we know about her reign. And of course, there would be the treasure. Gold, silver, and jewels far surpassing what was found in King Tut's tomb, representing the accumulated wealth of the final, magnificent era of pharaonic Egypt. The quest for Cleopatra's treasure is more than just a hunt for gold. It's a search for a connection to one of history's most compelling figures. Finding her tomb would not only solve a 2,000-year-old mystery, but also provide invaluable insight into her life, her death, and the world she inhabited. It would be a tangible link to a queen who defied an empire and whose legacy continues to fascinate us to this day. Whether her treasure lies at the bottom of the Mediterranean or deep beneath the temple of Osiris Magna, the search continues, reminding us that some of history's greatest secrets are still out there, waiting to be rediscovered. What do you think? Where is Cleopatra's tomb? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey through history. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next adventure. Until next time, stay curious.